So, hello everyone, this is Djuntas, and in today's video I will go over what could potentially be the best melee and Paladin build ever in Diablo 2. So in the new patch 2.4, the Paladin's aura damage was buffed, so it's now gonna be performing even better. But while I show the gear, I will quickly also go over 3 points as to why you should not build this over, say, the standard Paladin build. 1. If you value having teleport, don't build this. Not having Enigma can be a deal breaker for many, since teleport is so handy to have, and you use Enigma on a standard Paladin as his armor choice. 2. The lack of physical damage, thus potentially weaker performance and higher player count. Not having Grief and other build options can hurt your melee performance quite a bit. And 3. The cost is very high. It might even be more costly than a standard Paladin. So this is purely an endgame build for people who have the wealth to get these more exotic endgame items. So be one that it's costly to build to get. So with the intro out of the way, let's focus on some gear options. So first of all, it's worth mentioning the cost of these items here. Hand of Justice and Dream and Dragon. These types of runewords are not made a lot, so they're not really gonna be available for trading that much. Thus the prices are going to be high. Yes, they don't really require like the craziest runes to build and everything, but it's just because not a lot of them are being made, so the economy is gonna have less of them. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, but that is the reality. These 4 items here are what makes the build really expensive. I also quickly want to cover some optional stairs items. Dracul's is always a good item just to have for Ubers or anything like that, cause obviously this build can also quickly do Ubers with a few gear switch-ins. Crushing blow gloves are also really great if you're not gonna be killing any demons, so laying of hands is not really gonna help you a lot on that. Djuntas is also a really great option for belt over Nosferatu if you have a dual leech ring. In my case, I also don't need the increased attack speed. I'm just gonna throw up on the screen now all the information for breakpoints and so on, but I don't need the increased attack speed on the belt to be fully capped with zeal and using conviction aura. So that is just something to note, that you can easily also use Djuntas if you prefer to. It will probably be the better build choice as well. And then just an optional Enigma if you need to teleport. And Elder's Boots can also be really good for some faster one vault, but Sandstorm tricks are also really good. And then Grief if you wanted to switch out the Hand of Justice. I mean, it's really awesome weapon, so you might as well consider that in your budget. And then a Guliamar's Face if you're gonna go more melee oriented. And then an Exile for Ubers or anything other than just going full aura. Again, you can build it more physically oriented, so you should have these stash items if you want to go away from the aura damage for a bit, just to have some more melee damage going on. And then I also quickly want to talk a little about the inventory. So you see these killers here with faster hit recovery, offensive aura on items plus skillers, charms, whatever. It's not gonna help on your aura damage that is granted through items. So sadly, offensive auras are really cheap to trade for in general and whatnot, but they're just not better than these sharp grand charms here. And I choose sharp because I don't really need the attack rating since we have conviction aura. So 3000 attack rating, if you do choose to use conviction aura, is plenty. If you go with Phantasisma or something other than Conviction, you might want to use skillers that have, well, not maximum damage on them, but a lot more attack rating and some more life. That is definitely a way better option if you don't choose to go with Conviction. If you don't know, Conviction reduces the defense of mobs, so you don't really need that much attack rating. So it's really handy. And also just a quick note on faster hit recovery. So the reason why these items can also be really expensive, not only just to even see them being traded, is because of the rolls. So Dream has a very large roll affixes. They can really just be either crap rolled or really good rolled. And these items here gives me 50% faster hit recover, which means that I reach a good breakpoint, so you should aim to also get at least 48 faster hit recovery, and you can go up to 86 faster hit recovery. If I wanted to, I could switch out some of these charms here and reach the next breakpoint in faster hit recovery, but it's not really a big aim. Just try to at least get 50% faster hit recovery, which means that you need to get faster hit recovery rolls pretty good on your rune words, which is again a bit annoying because it adds the cost up a lot. And then on switch, just a standard call to arms and spirit for buff. It's nothing special. The one thing you should however consider is getting a dream in a sacred charge. That is going to be very hard to trade for and everything, but if you can get a dream with good resist base and everything in a sacred charge, it's gonna make even easier to max block. So consider that an option if you can get such a valuable item. So you have to both get a good base with good resist roll, and it has to be in a sacred charge. And a sacred charge is this shield base here, which you can also see it has 60% block versus Sacred Rune Shield here at 52% block. So you're gonna save quite a bit on dexterity. I think I'm already max block at like 175 dexterity with Sacred Charge versus Dream Sacred Rune Shield that I need to go to like 200. So it's quite a bit of a difference if you can afford to get a Dream in a Sacred Charge. Oh, and of course, if you can, you have to get it in a Bone Visage. This just looks so good on a Paladin, right? Such a great look. But before I forget to show it, let's also just focus a little bit on the Mercenary. So you could go with the Infinity Mercenary and Dariel's Visage, Treasury and Infinity. That is going to be a bit more expensive obviously to get an Infinity and everything, but that is an option if you don't have Conviction Aura. But since I have Conviction Aura and everything, I'm just gonna go with a standard Reaper's Tall. This is the best merc setup you can have, you know, it's the highest damage, it's the best survival, and the proc, the Cripify that Reaper's Tall has, is going to give you a lot more damage, physical damage and everything. This setup is just amazing on a Paladin build or any physical based builds really. And so let's take a quick look at the skills. So most of the points are going into the defensive auras for synergies to my aura, since that's the path that I went. You can also go more physical oriented. That would mean that you would go Fanatisma aura, you would perhaps put points into even Sacrifice and maxing out Zeal. But in general, my build was maxing out Resist Fire, Resist Lightning and Salvation. So many points into Resist Aura. I also get Redemption and Vigor and these sorts of other useful auras just as a 1-point wonder. It's always good to pick them up. And then offensive auras is just 1 point into everything to get down to Conviction. Sadly, I can't get it quite to level 25 with my current gear on. So if you can get Conviction all the way to level 25, so it's maxed out at minus 150 resistance, that is even better. So definitely try to get some more plus skillers on your gear. I would suggest perhaps using a rock belt or something like that. And since I don't have any points left, I can't even put many points into Zeal. I went as low as 5 or 6 points when I was testing out the build early on, and it's actually okay. You are going to do some okay damage even if you don't have many points into Zeal, let alone put points into Sacrifice. Yes, the Zeal damage is not that high. It's definitely gonna be better if you maxed it out. So that would mean, in my case, I would perhaps not put points into Salvation, so that would have not have taken that much aura damage away from my build, and then I would have put points into Zeal and some into Sacrifice as well perhaps. So that is something you should consider, because again, if you go more Zeal damage, more physical oriented, you're gonna be doing more damage on players 5 to 8 or something like that, just spamming away those Zeals on high health targets with Crushing Blow and everything. So do consider that an option if you plan to not really play you know, much solo games on Players 1 or anything like that. And just before we demo the video, I'm also just gonna do a small promotion. If you ever wanted to try this build out or 37 other builds, you can actually download it right now through my Google Drive link. I will have that in the description below. I really do have a lot of builds available right now for download if you just want to test this build out or anything else offline. It's really nice that people have enjoyed my little project so far, because before you commit to getting all this gear, leveling a new character and everything, it's nice just being able to test it offline to see if you also really enjoy the build. You know, for some people maybe the playstyle is boring or anything like that, but you can afford the gear, so it's nice just, yeah, not before you commit so much time and wealth that you can test it offline. But information for that is in the description below. And we're back. So with the power of video editing, now I'm actually on the PTR for patch 2.4. So I'm just quickly gonna hover over to confirm it. Yes, Holy Fire has gotten changed. It's gonna be fun, this one. It's gonna be very fun. But I'm gonna try to keep the video length down a little bit, maybe try to 12 minutes or so. So heavily edits 8 players Chaos run. So this is gonna be fun, because I know how good Tesla did. And I already tried this before, this build also on the old Diablo 2 or the current patch. So yeah, let's go for this. I'm definitely hoping for some good results. Just a quick note, Venom Lords are not broken by conviction. I don't think they were gonna be broken even if you had a level 25 conviction. Mine is only at level 23 with Call to Arms. But yeah, so Holy Fire is not gonna kill anything fire immune in here. That's fair enough. And let's see some seal damage. This one is both immune to lightning and fire. So yeah, the seal damage is very fine. It really is okay, even if you don't have grief. And the leech is also good enough. I was worrying that since we are going to be facing a lot of undeads, Doom Knight here and whatnot, that the potential to really just struggle with leeching would be much worse. But for now, it's good enough. So huge pull up here. Let's see if I can survive. All times also dropped, so I have to be very careful. Yeah, the merc also died there. Very big pull here. Scary when you pull it all together. And let's all just get call times up again. And let's go again. There you go. So yeah, this was a very, very big pull, but it seems like I was fine enough. It's just the merc that died, so I'm gonna have to go and get it back again. My merc keeps dying. He's just stupid. If the AI would just get fixed, it's very annoying. That if the merc was just gonna be able to follow you a lot better, I would already saved a little bit of time now. But let's try Lord Disease now. Gonna be hard this one. You know, get no leads because they're undead. But let's see. Okay, I was very good pull. I got it around the corner, very safe. Nice. Another big pull. Let's see how it goes. Definitely a bit risky now. Haven't used any potion on this pull. That's nice. Good survival. That's definitely acceptable. Just want to see some damage now from just lightning aura alone. I mean, it does seems like it's quite a bit better than current patch. I really do think that we are gonna see the results more on players 1 though for aura damage. Obviously on players 8 you're gonna do much more damage if your seal is just better. The aura is just a little too weak still for players 8 to feel like it's overpowered or whatever. And let's all just do smite maybe. Nah, let's stick with seal. I don't know. The damage is not that good, but I also don't have much crushing blow on this build here. So it's fair enough. The only thing I have crushing blow on my boots, so the boss damage is gonna be quite a bit slower than your average seal or paladin on players 8 here. Anyways, the Hydra spawning from Dragon Runewords and everything looks very good. But yeah, without crushing blow, it's just gonna be much slower. But that's also the reality of this build and basically my final conclusion. This is a Hydra build, a hybrid build even. Let's just pause the timer there. So if my merc wasn't being stupid, twice dying cause of bad AI, I could probably got it down to 6 minutes. Overall, actually a very good run and whatnot. And 6 minutes, that's also like the usual benchmark for good builds that any players 8 Chaos run builds should do, like a Javason, Lightning Sorceress, everything like that. They should also be able to clear a fully Chaos run in about 6 minutes. So this was a good acceptable run, especially also because I took some risk and I wasn't really dying that badly. So the survival is also very much there. Overall, again, it's a hybrid build. I would think that I would still just want to make a Paladin just to get teleport and then go with grief. Losing out on these 2 items to get Holy Fire that is something you are gonna have to experiment with yourself. I mean, now that they have buffed auras, and maybe you're only gonna stick to like players 1, then it's probably gonna be much more fun, because on players 1, the aura damage will be a lot more insane now with the patch 2.4 changes. And who knows, they might change patch 2.4 and everything before it goes live. But I wanted to do this video now on the PTR to actually feel the potential, well, the future potential of this build. So yeah, thank you so much for watching everyone, and have a good one.